Family in Christ. Welcome to another episode of Watershed, our series in which we share the experiences and challenges of our members, times in their lives when they have been through the fire and come out victorious on the other side through the grace of God and through the support of family and friends. I'm very pleased to welcome my guests today, Sisters Carolyn and Shirley Adams. My sisters in Christ, but they are biological sisters. So Sisters Carolyn and Shirley, welcome to Watershed.
Good afternoon, thank you.
Now, you both have remarkable stories of acceptance and optimism in your time of illness, and experiences where you have leaned on the grace of God and the strength and support of your families. So Carolyn, please share with me how your challenge began and what you did about it.
Yes, good afternoon, thank you. I'm a breast cancer survivor. My journey began even before I was diagnosed. In 2002, I lost my elder sister to breast cancer. She was living overseas. And I felt that my memory and, the family connection, I should get involved in something that relates to breast cancer. So I went and I joined the Reach for Recovery Breast Cancer Support Group. And that was in 2002. But she passed in February 2002. And I was an active member of the group. But in 2005, one Sunday afternoon, I was just there and I touched and I was like, what's this? And I recognized it was a lump.
Were you feeling any pain?
No.
Oh, no, just this.
Not even up till now. And so I'm a practical person when it comes to my health. And so I went to my doctor and then I was referred to the surgeon. I went to the surgeon, they did a biopsy. The biopsy was sent off and a few weeks later, I got a call to come to see the doctor. That was Dr. Wilkinson, the doctor. I went. I didn't, think of anything because
Keeping positive.
And when I got there, we discussed and we spoke, and then he said the results are back, and it's not exactly what I thought it would be. So I was like, right. And he explained to me they found that the lump was cancerous. And so, he discussed different options and what could be done. But he knew my family history too because I'm one of his patients. So taking into consideration my sister who had passed like 3 years before, he recommended a mastectomy. And it's not anything that any woman, especially somebody in your 40s, would want to hear. It was a hard pill to follow. To swallow, honestly. I went home, I discussed it because my mother was already getting kind of curious after she heard the doctor said the results were back and to come. I went home, I discussed it, I discussed with family, local and overseas, and everybody was very supportive and friends, but many persons, especially the local persons, would say, go overseas and get a second opinion. But my mind was racing. The only thing I could see, February 28, 2002, my sister had passed. So I thought about it, I prayed about it, and I said, I'm going to do what the doctor suggested. He's the doctor. To go overseas, yes, you could go overseas, but at the end of the day, you have to come back.
Yes.
And also, my support was in St. Kitts. I have lots of friends, but I have lots of family. So I decided, and my father and my mother were around, and they were already, concerned, because they were very caring parents, right? So I decided, I'm going to do it. I have confidence in my local Dr. Wilkinson, and so I'm going to do it. I made up my mind, and like I said, in early October I found out. And by the end of October I had all the results and everything. We basically began to speak about, the procedure and what it will entail. We initially set a date for the 17th of November, that's 2005. But then, on thinking about it, I said, that date is too emotional for me, because one of my niece's birthday. And so I said, no, I'm not going to do it on that day. Whatever the outcome is, I'm not going to do it on that day. So I delayed it for 1 week.
Yes, looking ahead.
I delayed it for 1 week, and so I did it on the 24th of November. So it's like within a 2 months, almost 2 month period, I made up my mind exactly what I was going to do, and I did the surgery. So I did it on the 24th of November.
Diagnosis, test, results, making up your mind and doing it.
Yeah, because like I said, only one thing was in my mind.
Yes.
Right, so I did it. It was, yesterday the surgery is not nothing, like I said, that anybody would want to do, but it was just another surgery in a sense. I was saved, anything. And after the surgery, I did all the evaluation of the tumor, and it came back. It was a stage 1, which was pretty early. But they recommended I see an oncologist. At that point in time, we had no oncologist here. So we had to do some research, and we ended up with an oncologist in Puerto Rico. So I journeyed to Puerto Rico in the middle of December on my birthday to look after myself. I traveled to Puerto Rico. A very good family friend who is a nurse, Lena Cassius, who is also Reverend Gomes. She came over from St. Croix because I had recently finished studying in 1998, and I was living in St. Croix, so I had that connection. Yes, it's actually a family. So we went and we saw the oncologist, and he recommended a number of additional tests, which we did. And we were there for a few days, and he recommended or prescribed some medication. He didn't prescribe tablets. I didn't do chemo. I didn't do chemo. The tablets itself is a form of chemo. It's a form of chemo.
And how did you have to take those? Like daily?
Daily, once a day. Once a day. And I took those for 5 years. Once a day, every day for 5 years. But I had to go back and forth to Puerto Rico every 3 months, then it was every 6 months. And, well, no, it's every year. But I know I'm not going this year. Definitely.
The way COVID has grounded us, but that's right.
Right. So, I did that for 5 years. And then after 5 years, I went on another form of medication for another 5 years. So that's 10 years in all that I was taking medication.
You're free of medication?
Yes, I'm free of medication. Thank God.
So it's just an annual checkup?
Yes, it's an annual checkup. And I do my checkups here with my local doctor, Dr. Shirley. So I go and I do my local. So basically, you don't know what, but I'm covered in terms of that. Because like I said, 10 years and I do my checkup yearly. And, every however months I go to the local doctor.
So you were lucky. There was no spread. It was contained in the lung.
It was contained. I think that is just, I guess for evaluation purposes, some lymph nodes, but it was no major spread.
Thank God for that. You're coming up now on a 15th year anniversary.
15th years on the 24th.
Yes. Thank God for that. This coming week.
Yes.
Mrs. Shirley, I know that your challenge has been more recent. your encounter. Please share with me how you were feeling. Was there any premonition, any bad feeling of something going wrong?
So I had no symptoms whatsoever. I'm not breast cancer survivor. I'm a colon cancer survivor. I had traveled to England in 2016 to attend a family funeral and stayed on for vacation. And I was doing fine in England, no problems, going off regularly, eating properly, everything that I am accustomed to doing. I traveled back home on, I think it was the 4th of August. And I was fine for a while. And then by the 11th of August, I was totally ill. I could not sit, I could not lay down properly. Everything just started. Pain, excruciating pain.
Maybe in your stomach area?
In my stomach area. Like, I don't, maybe it's not a thing with Black people or Caribbean people, but we blame everything on gas.
That's so true.
We blame everything on gas. And I figured I'm having serious gas pains in my stomach, and you would let down and you would drink water. Thought that it would go, and hope that it would go away. But it just wasn't going on because nothing by them was staying down. Everything I eat, including water, was just coming back up. And I had some work I was doing, because I do events, so I was getting ready to do a wedding. And the pain was just so that I took some of my neighbors with me and to assist me, because they had to do most of the work. A friend of mine, bless her heart, Tamisha Fifield, she came to assist me after she finished working. And she was the one that said, when we go back to town, you're going to the hospital. I told her, no, it's okay, it's just yes. So I went home. During the evening, I had to go to the hospital. But that didn't work out too well, so I went back. Then by the next day, we were getting ready to prepare the church for the wedding. He again said, no, you need to go to the hospital. I called a cousin of mine who is a doctor, who is a doctor. And he told me to leave what I'm doing and come and see him, which I did. My son came and he picked me up as we were in the country and took me to the hospital. This time the attitude of the individuals at the hospital was different. Because I had left the hospital the night before.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, I had left.
But this time you were coming with the recommendation of your doctor cousin.
Maybe not even that, but they saw me coming this time and they knew what had happened the night before. So their attitudes were different. I was admitted to the hospital. The pain that you just can't imagine. I was there. I spent a couple of days, maybe a week. I was discharged. I was supposed to have gone to the doctor I was supposed to come to see the doctor, which is Dr. Wilkerson. That would have been maybe between Wednesday and Thursday. By Friday, I was back in the hospital. The same week, back in the hospital. Pain.
And were they running any tests?
When I went back, they did numerous x-rays. But before that, I had done an ultrasound, and the doctor said that she saw a blockage. So they knew that something was there. So they did all the things. I was getting ready for the colonoscopy again. But I could not even, the medicine is not nice, but it goes down. Not even that was going down. A friend of mine was with me, Dr. Asim Martin, and he said, no, something, yeah. So I spoke to the doctors and went to do another x-ray. When I came back to the room, I was told I was going to be prepared for surgery evening. It's just like that. the same evening I had emergency surgery.
That last X-ray must have shown
Right.
something.
Yeah, whatever he would have mentioned. And then when I took another look, I guess. Yeah, so I did emergency surgery that same evening. And
You didn't have a lot of time to share with friends and think about it and ponder.
it was so straight to it. And even in the hospital, my pain was such that Carolyn could say she used to cry as much as she cried very easily. And because my pain was such that to see a big woman cry like that, it's not easy. You know that something is wrong. So, yeah. So I did the surgery. Results came back. It was cancer. But when you're comfortable with yourself and you have an inner strength, things can be totally different. I was not nervous about the surgery. When I got the results, I was concerned, but you know that what the possibility could be. So it's a matter of acceptance. That is the greatest thing.
That strength, like you say, that comes from your faith in God.
Yes.
So He would see you through it. Whatever it was, it would be dealt with.
Yeah. So, yeah. I did my chemo in Puerto Rico also. Yeah. I did my, because by then the
Your tablets?
No, mine were tablets. Well, actually, I did both. I did the IV and I had to go to Puerto Rico every 3 weeks for chemo. So I did the IV, came home, skipped a week, and then started the tablets, the oral tablets. So I did 2 different types of chemo.
And you had to go to Puerto Rico for that every 3 weeks?
For the IV. The tablets I did here. I did at home. And I did that I think it was 8 cycles that I had to do. I did what like Carolyn said, I did what I had to do. It was not a matter of, shying away from, no. You have to face it. You have to face it head on. Because you're wasting time.
Cancer loves, the longer you leave it, the worse it can be. So thank God for both of you. You got it at that stage where you could make a difference.
And mine was stage 2. Yeah, it was still.
Early enough for
you.
And how did that going to Puerto Rico every 3 weeks impact on your life otherwise? I mean, your job and your work situation?
Well, I was retired by then. I have a small business. It affected that business drastically because as a small business owner, you depend on no one but yourself in terms of finances and that kind of thing. So, not just emotionally, but financially, it was a strain. Really, really, really difficult. But it's something that had to be done. And I could not go to Puerto Rico on my own. Somebody had to always go with me. So, it was just a matter of making sure that when I'm ready to go, that somebody else is lined up who can go.
So Carolyn ever accompanied you?
She went to times. She went most of the times. I mean, thank God I got the time off from my job to go. My brother even came from the States one time to another friend. So I was saying before, you have to have that wide family and friend connection, because that is what's going to take you through.
And all of that helps you because both of you were willing to share. You were willing to say what was happening in your lives.
Because you see, if you don't share these type of illnesses, you will never get over it. And it's only you alone will know about it. And, well, you won't be able to help somebody, but you will be, as we said, boiling it up inside of you. And even getting more sick, if you could put it that way.
As you say, you keep it inside, you're not letting it out, you're not getting help from others, and you're not allowing others to benefit from your situation, your challenge. your optimistic outlook.
Right.
And question to you both, how has your diet changed, if it has, coming out of these two challenges?
But in the beginning, yes, I kind of shifted up, but I guess because it's been so long, but yeah, and as you get older, you really have to go and eat properly.
Yes.
So, as you get older, you must eat properly. But there's certain things, if I eat them, I know I'm not going to be feeling the best. But I think Shirley has adjusted wonderfully in terms of her diet.
Shirley, before your bout with cancer, you were freely eating. You eat anything?
I never liked any food. I was never a big eater. Never.
And never greens. And nothing green.
Nothing green?
No.
Okay. But in terms of like any meat, any fish,
My mother never brought us up eating meat. So we never eat red meat. So we would eat it, but it wasn't something that was a part of our diet. I don't like fish, and I really eat chicken. So
vegetarian.
no, but I didn't like vegetables at that time either. So my oncologist in Puerto Rico, when I did my first set of tests, one of the things she said to me, and I think Carolyn was there, was that for my age, my body was very healthy. And I was like, right, I don't even eat. Yeah. But since my illness, I eat greens almost every day because my breakfast is a smoothie, which involves either kale, spinach, I use carrots, oats,
Beets as well?
I'm allergic to beets. For some reason, I can't use beets. I think Carolyn gave me too much when I was sick. She used to say beets. Yeah. So I can't use beets. It makes me sick. But I don't use milk. I don't use thin stuff. Lots of things I used to use before. Really do I use a microwave? And, things like that. Things that would have become natural to me. I don't do that.
And coming out of the chemotherapy treatments, have you had any side effects, any problems since then?
I haven't had any side. As a matter of fact, through my whole treatment and everything, and surgery, I never ever felt sick. I don't feel sick. Something was wrong, yes, but I was never ever sick down or sick. And the treatment didn't do me anything. And
For me, my treatment, I used to be physically ill. Once I take my chemo, I vomit, I just yes. I doesn't mean we not say certain things, but I was ill. I was ill. I went into 104 pounds. That's how ill I was.
Because I'm sure you couldn't take in much or absorb the nutrition.
Yeah. But I'm not on any medication, thank God. Nothing. But one of the side effects that I think in my case is that my eyes got affected. I ended up with a detached retina where the front of the eye is separated from the back of the eye. I had to have surgery twice so far on my eyes. I had to go to Cuba because that surgery could not be done here.
Cuba has an excellent.
Very, very, very good service. Very good service. Yes.
So you were able to do the surgery to have it reattached.
Yeah, it is reattached because I did an ultrasound on it about in early September. Because the doctor here wanted to make sure, because I'm preparing for another surgery, which is a cataract that normally comes when you have that type of surgery.
So it's on the same eye.
Yeah, it's the same eye, yeah. But she did not want to do the surgery until she was sure that the eye was settled. So I have that surgery to do. So right now, the side in the right eye is very, very, very weak, but I walk with the grace of God. I don't even, I have not worn my glasses for, in this period, maybe over like 3 weeks, because the dust from the road affects the eye, so I don't put strain on it. But after I came back from Cuba the second time in January, I would be walking in town and people would be calling me and I'm going to answer you. You don't have to know that I can't see you or recognize you because I can see you, but I can't recognize you at a distance. But I walk with the grace of God and think.
He only tells us we walk by faith, not by sight.
Yeah, not by sight.
So,
Yeah. So that is one of my effects after my illness.
and you're going to be able to have the cataract removed here.
Yeah, in January. In January.
Well, ladies, is there any last bit of advice you'd like to give to our viewers coming out of what you have experienced? Anything you'd like to say to persons out there struggling with an illness, doubting, wondering if to go and get it checked out? We know how it is at this COVID time. No one wants to go to a doctor. What would you say to them?
I encourage people to be proactive because the longer you wait, the more whatever is going to be advanced. So be proactive. And once you know what it is, think about it. Because you might help somebody. I mean, I speak about mine all the time and people watch me and say, really? But I will. But you have to settle your mind in whatever you're doing. You have to settle it in your mind and then carry on from there. I mean, cancer, breast cancer, it's not a death sentence. It's how you deal with anything in life. It's how you deal with anything. So you speak about it, encourage somebody, because somebody might be there who need somebody to say something, and then they just said, might open up. And they said, myself, well, if she could do it, I could do it.
They encourage from you.
Right, encouragement. And another thing is, a lot of us, when we ill, we have our physicians overseas, which is good. But we need to keep in touch with a local physician. We can't just look at COVID.
Exactly.
We can't jump on a flight every time.
That's right.
And to the overseas.
Expertise there.
Right, and right now there's an oncologist here, and it's not even just for cancer. I mean, people say, oh, I don't have a doctor, or when I get doctor when I'm overseas. There's some doctor here you must be able to have confidence in to go. So
you don't wait too long for a diagnosis.
encourage somebody, speak about it, do regular checkups, and you walk and you'll be protected. The Lord will protect you.
Really?
Yeah, I'm here sitting and my mind is going back at a very close friend of mine who was ill. Didn't open up to us as he died. And not for me at the funeral, I remember going outside. Because when I found that she had died, I was in church. And it was terrible. And I remember going outside and standing there because my whole thing is, you knew what I went through. I may not have been able to help you, but we would have been able to talk. And that is what just came to my mind when you asked that question, because it was just like that. To us, no warning, because we did not know that it was that bad. So, nobody, we weren't given the opportunity to
even say, I'm sorry, I care, I'm here to listen and
And she was somebody that she and I would be on the phone when I was ill, and she would call me, and just knowing that I could not offer the same type of support that she would have offered to me. The gratitude well, got it. Oh, big time.
You felt robbed of that chance to be there for her. Yes, she had been for you.
Yeah.
Another thing, we have to check our family history. A lot of people, you say, oh, my mother or my sister, but everybody have to check individually. One, spur the other along, and you have to check your family history. Because it might skip one generation, but ended up in another.
That's true.
So it's just awareness. It's just being proactive about health. I mean, health is wealth.
Knowledge is power.
And knowledge is power.
Ladies, I want to thank you both for sharing your experiences with our viewers. Congratulations on your recovery, and I pray that God will continue to bless you and guide you, keep you safe and healthy as long as He will. It is caring and sharing, like both of you have shown, that helps others along their journey. And we really appreciate your openness and your willingness to give of your lives, give of what you have gone through to help others. Thank you both. Family, once again, thank you for being with us on Watershed, and until next time, take care.